sitting down, cross-legged in a comfortable position. Your choice to have your palms open on your knees and just closing down the eyes, and let's just focus on our breath to begin with. So really trying to center ourselves, be grounded, sitting up nice and tall, lengthening up through the spine, a long neck, shoulders are down. And slowing down the breath. On your next exhale, drop your right ear to your right shoulder, stretch through the neck. Inhale to center, and exhale left ear to left shoulder. Inhale, center, and exhale right ear. Inhale, center, and exhale left ear. Inhale, center. Opening up the eyes, and inhale, reach the arms up to the sky. And then exhale, place your right hand down to the ground, lengthen your left hand tall and lean over to the side. So just a gentle side stretch. Inhale, coming up to center. And exhale, left hand down, reach your right arm tall and lean over to the side. Inhale, center. And exhale, right arm. Inhale, center. And exhale, left. Inhale back to center. This time we're going to go for a twist. So left hand on right knee, right hand is behind you. Inhale, lift up tall. And exhale, twist and look over your right shoulder. Inhale, coming to center. And exhale, swapping sides. Right hand to left knee, left hand is behind you. Inhale, tall. And exhale, twist over your left shoulder. And inhale, coming back to center. Let's do one more each side, twisting towards the right. And inhale, center, and twisting left. Now inhale, rise, and exhale, place your hands behind you, fingers facing forwards. I'm going to turn to the side for this. So they're slightly behind you with your fingers facing forwards. And then you're going to push your chest open and squeeze your shoulders together. Really try and open up through the chest. You can lengthen your head up, so to look at the ceiling. Try not to tuck your chin down, and try not to let your head just drop back. So nice and controlled neck, lengthening through the neck. Shoulders are squeezing back behind you. Chest is opening out, expanding, maybe even using some back muscles, engaging, trying to get that chest a little bit further forwards. And then peeling yourself up and just giving your shoulders a nice little roll out of that. All right, making our way into tabletop, so reaching your hands forward and rolling over onto all fours. And walk your hands around, stretching through the wrists. Maybe even flipping over the hands. And then we're going to go through some cat-cow. So inhale, sink the belly, squeeze the shoulders back and look up. And exhale, push the floor away, dome through your back. Inhale, sink. And exhale, push. Let's go 3 more. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, sink. And exhale, push. One more. Inhale, sink. And exhale, push. Then finding a neutral spine. Maybe rocking side to side if that feels good for you. Or drawing circles or all the way around. Another way. And then find your neutral spine. From here, let's reach our right arm forwards and our left leg back. Engaging through the core, trying to stay strong and trying not to arch through the back. So no sinking of the belly, we're trying to keep that nice flat spine. Now without anything else moving, we're going to lift our right arm and our left leg up. From here, we're going to pulse them up for 10. So pulsing up, 2, trying not to arch the back, 3, 4, 5, try and get that arm higher, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good, returning back to the ground. I'm going to swap sides, bringing our right leg back and our left arm forwards, evenly distributing the weight between your right hand and your left knee, and lifting up through the arm and the leg. Keep that tummy tight and pulse them up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Returning back down. Give your arms a little bit of a shake, maybe lean back, shake it out. I'm going to go through one more round, but doing something a little bit different. Coming back into your tabletop. Reach your right arm long and your left leg extend. Lifting up. And this time we're going to reach for our foot with our hands. So from here we're going to reach and touch and then extend. And that's 1 and 2, 3. Inhale to extend, exhale to touch. 4, 5, 6. Try and get that leg up a little bit higher. 7, 8, 9. I know it's hard work. And 10. Good, and coming back to center. Have a little rest and we'll do the other side. This is our little bit of core work and back work for this yoga flow. Extending your right leg out long, left arm extends, and then lifting up through the arm and the leg. And then from here we're going to touch our foot for 1 and extend. 2 and extend. 3, breathe out. Inhale, extend. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And returning back down. Tuck through your toes and then push back onto your knees and stretching out through those toes. So maybe spread out your little pinky toes and just come here, either hands open on your thighs, closing down the eyes and just catching your breath. Giving your shoulders a little bit of a rest. Maybe give them a little roll if that feels good. There's a strong opening position. this might feel intense in the feet. It's a really good stretch for the bottom of the feet. Alright, coming back into our tabletop position, tap through those toes. A nice little stretch through those toes. Now we're going to stretch through the arms, so this is where we'll need our blocks. If you've only got one block, that's fine. Just place it in the middle. If you've got two blocks, place them in line with each other. And then what you're going to do is place your elbows on the blocks and your hands are in a prayer position. You're going to push your chest and your head through and try and get your chin to touch the ground maybe. Otherwise coming into this shoulder stretch. If you don't have blocks, you can use your couch or a chair, doing the same thing. You can go through some cat-cow here, so rounding through the back but keeping your head down and then arching through the back to get a little bit deeper. And round. And push, and round, and push, round, and push. And just breathe. And then extending to come back out, slowly move your blocks to the side. And then come back into your tabletop position. From here, let's bring our right foot to the outside of your right hand and then slide your left leg back. So we're coming into a lizard pose here. Now drawing circles with your hips, so you're going all the way around and just loosening up those hips as we get into this pose. You can push all the way back, around and in. So drawing circles with your hips. Might feel a bit tight in areas. And then once you've done a few circles, just leaning down into your lizard pose, getting that nice stretch through the hips. You can try and think about lengthening through your spine and pushing your shoulders back and down together like you were doing in your cow pose. And then pushing back into your half split, so keeping your right leg extended and reaching, keeping your right knee extended and leaning forwards. Option to flex through the foot if you want a little bit more intense. I know it's early, so it might feel a little bit tight. Well, it's early for me. If you are doing this later, tell me what time you usually do the class. Just so I know what time people are kind of liking their yoga practice. Alright, bringing that right leg back into your tabletop position, and this time bringing your left leg on the outside of your left hand. And then starting with those circles again with the hips. So drawing big circles around. And just loosening up those hips. And then staying still in your lizard pose, so leaning forwards, and then pulling those shoulders back, opening up through the chest. Stretching, extending your right leg straight as much as possible. So when we're doing back bends, it's important to stretch through the hip flexors and the shoulders. That's, I would say, 50 or maybe even 60% of your back bend comes from your hips and your shoulders. And then yeah, the rest is in your back, but yeah, hips and shoulders are the things that mostly prevent people from doing a back bend. So it's good to get them nice and loose. All right, pushing back and extending your left leg long and straight. And then if you want that extra, you can flex through your foot. Ouch. It's early. And then what you're going to do is lean forwards now, tuck through your right foot, and then step your right foot on the outside edge of your left hand, and then come and sit down, turning your feet on 45-degree angles out to the side. So we're in a malasana, so we're stretching through those hips still, and pushing our knees out with our elbows, pushing our hands together in prayer, sitting up nice and tall. Go for a little bit of a side bend here, so extend your left arm out and open up your right hand to the sky. So you're trying to twist your chest up towards the sky. Coming back to prayer, and then swapping sides. Right hand goes down, left arm opens up to the sky. You might get a nice crack in your back, like I just did. And then coming back to center, placing your hands down on the ground, straighten up through your legs, and then bring your feet hip width apart. Slight bend in the knees and hold on to your elbows. You're in a ragdoll position, swaying side to side, just to stretch through those hamstrings before we begin floating. So our flows today are going to be a little bit different to usual. They're going to follow a similar principle, but we're not going to be doing a full sun salutation. It's a similar sun salutation, but many variations. All right, slowly rolling up to stand. Head and neck are the last. All right. Inhale, reach your arms up to the sky and squeeze your tummy and your bum. And we're going to lean off over towards the right. So tilting the body over towards the right. Just low enough so that you can control your coming back up. Inhale to rise up. And exhale, left side. Inhale, rise up. And now this time slightly back. So lifting up through the chest. Point your hands back, only enough that you can have control and it's not causing any pain. And then exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, hands down, step back, and then place your knees down and your chest and your chin to the ground. Slide through for your cobra. And then exhale, push back, downward facing dog. Let's bring our right foot forwards in between our hands and drop our left knee down. So we're in a nice low lunge. Inhale, reach your arms up. And exhale, interlace the hands behind your back. Squeeze your shoulders together and open up through your chest. So I'm going to be doing a lot of opening exercises today. Sink lower in your hips if you can. Inhale, reach your arms up. And then exhale, place your left hand down. We're going to rotate over towards the side. So turn your right foot to the side and then lean over, reaching your right hand back towards your left foot. You feel a stretch through the glutes here in your right glute. Rotating back to center, and then this time we're going to go into a half split, so pushing back for your half split. Inhale, coming forwards, untuck your left toes and then push back into your downward dog. Let's bring our left foot forwards in between our hands, drop our right knee down to the ground. Inhale, reach your arms up. And exhale, interlace hands behind the back, squeeze the shoulders together, open up through the chest. So really engaging through that core. Sinking the hips a little bit lower. Inhale, reach your arms up. And exhale, place your right hand down. And this time we're going to straighten up through our right leg, rotate over, and our left foot twist. We're going to turn onto our side. So it's quite intense in the hip. If you need to move your foot down at all, that's totally fine. Reaching your hand back. Rotating back to center and pushing back into your hamstring stretch. And then coming forwards, tucking the right toes, pushing back into your downward facing dog. Rising up onto the toes, look forwards, inhale. And then exhale, step forwards, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, fold. Inhale, rising up nice and tall. And exhale, hands to heart. Let's go again. Slightly bit different variations. I'll keep telling you what the variation is. Inhale, reaching up, squeeze nice and tight through the core. Let's drop over towards the right. Inhale to rise up. And exhale, drop towards the left. Inhale, rise up. And exhale, slightly back. Really engaging. And forward fold. Inhale for your halfway lift. And exhale, plant your hands, step back. And choice of chaturanga or knees, chest, chin. Choice of upward facing dog or cobra. And exhale, push back, downward facing dog. Bring your right foot forwards in between your hands. And stay in your low lunge, but hands are down. High lunge, but hands down. From here, we're going to go into that twist again. So rotating your right foot to the side and your left foot to the outside edge. And reach your hand back. So now our leg is lifted off the ground. A little bit more of the engaging position. Bringing your right hand back and rotating back to center. Hop your left foot slightly forwards and we're going to come into a pyramid pose. So straightening up through your legs into pyramid. Hopping your left foot back and then stepping your right foot back into your downward facing dog. Stepping your left foot forwards in between your hands. Coming into a low lunge, hands are on the ground. Rotate to the edge of your right foot and twist your left foot to the side. And bring your left hand back to reach towards your foot. It's quite a strong in the arm as well. Really push down through that hand. Rotating back to center, hop your right foot slightly forwards into pyramid pose. And step your right foot back, step your left foot back, and meet in downward facing dog. Inhale, rise up onto the toes, look forwards, and step to the front of the mat. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up to stand. And exhale, hands to heart. Alright, let's go again. Inhale, rise. And exhale, side bend towards the right. Inhale, rise. Exhale, left side. Inhale, rise. And exhale, back as much as you feel comfortable. Inhale, and then exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, step back. Your choice of flow. And then meeting in downward facing dog. Rotate your left foot on a 45-degree angle. Step your right foot forwards. Inhale, reach your arms up, warrior one. Interlace the hands behind the back. Squeeze your shoulders together. Inhale, open up through the chest. Making sure you're nicely bending through that right leg, coming nice and low. Hips are still facing forwards, and your left foot is on a 45-degree angle. Really nice and open through that chest. I'm going to take a humble warrior, so leaning your chest forwards as much as possible, and then coming down in front of your leg, on the inside of your leg, making sure your hips are still facing forwards as you let your arms drop above you. And inhale, rising up, release the arms. And exhale, hands down, step back, downward facing dog. Twist your right foot on a 45-degree angle, step your left foot forwards. Inhale, rise. And exhale, interlace the hands behind your back. Inhale, squeeze the shoulders, open up the chest. Bending nice and deep through that left leg. Hips are facing forwards. And then we're going to take it into humble warrior, so leaning forwards. And then extending the arms above your head. Keep your hips facing forwards. Left shoulder on the inside of your left knee. Inhale, reach your arms up. And exhale, step back, downward facing dog. Choice of flow, if you want to add a flow in here. And then inhale, rising up onto your toes, look forwards. Exhale, step to the front of the mat, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up. And exhale, hands to heart. All right, how are we feeling? Let's grab ourselves a little bit of water. We've had a little bit of a warm up now. Hopefully we're feeling a little bit more limber. We'll get started with the flow. So inhale, rise. Slight back bend. And then exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, plant the hands, step back, and flow of choice. Pushing those heels down into the ground. Trying to push the floor away from you with your arms. The eyes of your elbows facing forwards. Your bum is flowering up to the sky. Extend your right leg up, three-legged dog. Keep your hips facing the ground for now. And then on your next exhale, you're going to open up through the hip and bend through the right knee into your more open three-legged dog. On your next breath, bring your right knee in towards your right elbow and then step your right foot on the outside of your right hand. Extend your left leg a little bit further back and place the knee on the ground. So we're coming into our lizard pose again, so the foot is on the outside of your right hand. So in your lizard pose, we're going to go through a little bit of a quad stretch here. So bringing your right hand all the way over and reaching back towards your left leg. Now you can either stay here or you can bend through your leg and try and grab your foot. We'll go through a few more rounds of this, so if this round you don't want to do that, that's fine. And if you want to do it on the next 2 rounds, then that's totally fine as well. You might get deeper each round, so don't try and push this one. Just start where you feel comfortable. Releasing the leg, bringing your hands back to center. Now this time we're going to extend back into almost like our half split. And then we're going to rotate our left leg to the side and bring our right leg out to the side. So now we're in our modified side plank position. From here you're going to extend your right leg up. And just like what we were doing in the beginning, we're going to reach for our foot behind us. So touch and then extend. That's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Inhale, extend. Exhale, touch. 5. Inhale, extend. Exhale, touch. 6. Inhale. Exhale, 7. 3 more. I know it might burn. And 8. And 9. And 10. From here, you're going to place your right knee onto the ground and then come up onto the side. So now you should be on your knees facing the side. We're going to do our camel pose from here, so our first one. So the first one, we're going to place our hands, fingers facing down on our lower back. Elbows are squeezing back behind us. Chest is nice and open. Maybe move your knees to hip width apart. And then lifting up through the chest, creating space, using your hands as a support to push your hips forwards and arching back to look back as much as possible. Squeezing through those glutes. There should be no pain. If there is, do less. Stay for 1 more breath. And coming up. Whew. Extending your hands back to center, rotating over into your tabletop position. From here, you can do your flow of choice either from here, so knees, chest, chin, or you can extend and then chaturanga, upward facing dog, and cobra. And downward facing dog. From here, send your left leg up to the sky. Push the floor away, hips facing down. And then exhale to open up through the hip and bend through the knee. On your next exhale, bringing your knee to your left elbow. And then stepping your left foot outside the edge of the left hand. Extending your right leg long and untucking the toes. Knee to the ground. Staying in your lizard pose here. Extending your left arm all the way up and over. Bending through the leg and reaching for your foot. Stretching through that quad. So yes, we're getting into the hips, into the shoulders, into our backs. You'll feel invigorated after this. Extend your left hand back to the ground and your right leg to the ground. Push back like you're in a half split, and then circle your left leg all the way around so you come into your modified side plank. From here, extending the leg up. This time we're going to reach for our foot behind us and then extend for 1. Exhale and 2. Inhale. Exhale, 3 and 4 and 5. You should feel it in your glutes. And 6, healthy, strong glutes mean a healthy, strong lower back. 7, 8, 9, and 10. Placing your left knee on the ground and sliding up, we make our way into our camel on the other side. So, sorry, my pants keep rolling down. So placing our hands in our lower back, squeezing our shoulders together, chest open, and then pushing our hips forwards, squeezing our glutes nice and strong through the back, and looking back as much as possible. One more breath. And coming back up. Making our way back into our tabletop facing forwards, and optional knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Flow into our downward facing dog. Let's take a moment here in child's pose, stretching long through the arms and stretch that lower back out. I'm going to go through 2 more rounds of flow, and then we'll be in our full camel. I'm going to add some additions to each of the poses, so if it gets too much, please take it back to that sequence. But if you are ready to give it a go, it's going to get quite tough, so your choice. Alright, let's meet in our downward facing dog. Send our right leg to the sky, and then exhale, open up through the hip, bend through the leg. Bring your right knee to your right elbow, and then place your right foot on the outside edge of your right hand, and drop down into your lizard pose. Placing your left knee on the ground and extend. This time we're going to come down onto the elbows if you can. Lengthening through your chest. And then rotate your left hand so your hand is facing towards your right foot, and reach your right hand back behind you. Now this might be enough, or you can reach for your foot here. Again, if you want to stay up on your hand, that's totally fine. If you need a block, that's also totally fine. And releasing that hand and foot, placing your hands back on the ground. Now, this is where it's going to get a little bit tough. So option 2, just do what we did before, where we rotate on our knee. Otherwise, you're going to tuck your toes and lift that knee up. So now we're going to roll to the outside edge of your left foot and bring this leg into a side plank here. Okay? Option to stay here, or you can lift your right leg up. We'll just hold this one. And then reaching your right hand down to the ground. Let's place our knees now facing forwards. We'll come up into our camel pose here. So hands are behind you, fingers facing down, shoulders squeezing back, and lifting up, leaning back. And coming up, reaching forwards. And let's just meet in our downward facing dog. left leg lifts up. And exhale, open up through the hip, bend through the leg. Bring your left knee to the outside edge of your left hand and place your foot on the ground. Right knee lowers down. Coming down onto your elbows if you did so before. And then rotating your right hand towards your left foot and reaching your left hand back behind you. Bending through your foot and reaching for it if you did so before. Now rotating back and coming up onto our hands and tucking through your right toes, lifting the right knee, and then rotating over into our side plank. Option to lift that leg up and just hold for now. Nice strong pose. Lowering the leg, bringing the hand back down to the ground, knees down. Let's make our way into our camel. We're going to be doing 2 more camels, so keep it nice and steady for now. And then sitting your bum down, let's make our way into child's pose, reaching those arms forwards. Alright, if you want to take a drink, take a drink. We'll get into our final flow. Feel like something in my neck needs to crack. Alright, fix my pants again. Reaching your hands down, tuck your toes. Let's go for our final flow with our last variations. So, inhale, reach your right leg to the sky. And exhale, open up through the hip. Now, option here to flip your dog. So, placing your right foot down to the ground, reach your right arm up behind you. Push those hips up, squeeze those glutes. Circling your right hand back down, and then place your right foot on the outside edge of your right hand, left knee down. And let's come onto our elbows again and make our way back into our stretch. We'll have nice flexy quads by the end of this, hopefully, and hip flexors. Now, option to stay on your elbow here, or if you want it extra hard, up onto your hand. So elbow is a slightly easier option, hand is a very extremely hard option. Okay, so extend your left leg out and tuck the toes and lift that left knee up. You can use your right hand to balance you over as you make your way into your side plank on your elbow or hand if you're challenging yourself. Extend your right leg up. This time we're going to reach for our foot behind us. Touch and extend for 1. Let's just do 5, 2, 3, 4. On this last one, hold your foot if you can, and then kick into your foot. I know it's intense. Release, and then place your hands on the ground. Make your way onto your knees. Whew. Now with these last 2 camels, if you want to reach back for your feet, you can. If your feet feel very far away, you can place blocks either on the outside or inside of your feet. In between. It's a nice one to, if you have 2 blocks, can place them in between your feet and have your feet on either side. Then you're going to have your hands behind your back first. Squeeze your shoulders together. Squeeze your glutes, push your hips forwards, lean back, and then one at a time you're going to reach your hands down for your blocks. If they're together, if they're in between your feet, it's very close. So you might want to have them on the outside edge of your feet for a nice, easier for your shoulders. If you can reach for your heels or ankles, then making your way down to those. Really pushing those hips forward, squeezing those shoulders back. And then one at a time, releasing the hands and coming back up. Yeah, sorry about that. Have them on the outside edges of your feet. Be much easier. All right, coming forward. Maybe just do a wiggle of the back and tabletop before we go to our other side. Pushing our hands into the ground, tuck the toes, push back, downward facing dog. Inhale, bring your left leg up. And exhale, open up through the hip, bend through the leg. And then flip your dog if you did so before. All the way over, reaching your left arm back behind you. Circling your left hand back down to the ground and bring your left leg to the outside edge of your left hand. Drop your right knee down. If you did so before, making your way onto your elbows and then rotating over to the side to reach for your foot. Extending through your leg. Now, keeping onto your elbows, or if you're challenging yourself, making your way onto your hand, but trust me, it's very difficult. Tucking through your right toes, lift up your right knee, and maybe use your left hand to balance you as you make your way into your side plank. Now bringing your left leg up, and then reaching for it behind your back for 1. And extend. 2. And extend. 3, 2 more, 2, and this last one we're going to grab the foot and we're going to try and kick back behind us. 3, 2, 1, good, dropping down and then making your way back onto your knees. For your last and final camel pose. So again, starting off with our hands on our lower back, squeeze those shoulders back, hips go forwards. Use your glutes and then reaching back either for your blocks or your ankles and then pushing your hips really far forwards. If you've done camel pose before and you're super comfy with it, you can make your way so you'll bring your hands to your feet and either have your hands facing forwards. You can go into your floating camel, so leaning back and lifting up through the knees. So you're kind of making this kind of shape, and it's a lot of quads, a lot of glutes. Okay, otherwise you're going to keep in your camel pose here. And then making your way up the other way than you did before. Let's make our way into child's pose. Take a moment here. That was a very hard practice. Head resting on the ground. Try to steady your breath. And a hair in my mouth. Okay. And then slowly making your way up, bringing your legs out from under you. And bringing them forwards so we can make our way back onto our back. Let's take a little bit of a twist. So bring your right leg over your left, shift your hips towards the right, and then twist over towards the left. Find twisting helps to release the pressure in the back. It's almost as if like you're wringing out a cloth. So if you've got pain, it's like wringing it out. It's like releasing the pain out of it. So it's nice. It's a nice relief. Coming back to the center, shifting the hips back, and left leg over right. Shift the hips to the left and dropping over towards the right. Bring your hips back to neutral. And then tuck your knees into your chest. Just give them a nice hug. Rock side to side, like you're giving your back a little bit of a massage on the floor. Place your feet as wide as the mat and knock your knees together. Maybe place your hands underneath your bum so your back has a little bit more of a support. And just take a moment here. Close down the eyes. Take a big breath in through the nose. And open the mouth and let it out. Do 2 more like that. Be as loud as you want. 1 more. And then coming back to a natural breath that feels good for you. If there's any last movements you'd like to do before Shavasana, do them now. Maybe you want to go into a shoulder stand or a plow pose, bringing your legs above you for a nice back stretch. Maybe you just want to lay in Shavasana, making sure your shoulders are nicely placed, palms are facing up. Legs are spread. Take up as much room as you like. It's your house. If you're anywhere near me, you can listen to the rain outside falling on the